Hello, my name is Zoe Harcombe and I'm author of The Obesity Epidemic and The Harcombe Diet. Today's a really special day for the world. It's the 14th of October and overnight all of the 33 Chilean miners were rescued from underground where they'd been for the last 69 days, and the 6 rescue workers who so bravely went down to help them. It's captivated the world. It's been one of the most emotional 24 hours I can remember watching on television, the people coming out and hugging each other. It has been quite phenomenal, almost as wonderful as 9/11 was terrible. It's just so nice to see what humans can do when they work together and help each other, as opposed to when they're so trying to destroy each other and do negative things. We can be so wonderful as human beings, and we can also be so heinous. And this was just such a lovely example of when we are so wonderful. Now, the interesting part of this for me, and it will be for many researchers across the world, many mental health researchers and confined space researchers are absolutely fascinated by this experiment. But for me as an obesity researcher, we have a real live example now of where the Minnesota starvation experiment, the Ansel Keys experiment from 1945, is now going to be repeated in front of our eyes again. If you go on zoeharcombe.com and put in the word Minnesota or starvation, my blog on this will come up, and it's in chapter 4 of this book. But the miners have effectively been put through the part 1 of the Minnesota starvation experiment without ever deciding to do that, without ever wanting to do that. They've been put in this horrific position where they have been hungry, eking out food for the first 17 days, and then living on quite meagre rations over the next 60 odd days or 50 odd days. And a number of the men indeed actually were told they needed to lose weight to be able to get back up into the capsule on the way back. Now, that's just part 1 of the experiment. The next part is when the men go back to being able to eat freely, which they will be able to do from this very minute. And having experienced hunger, which is the most horrific human experience, one of the most certainly anyway, rape and war are horrible, but hunger is absolutely up there with things that humans cannot tolerate. And those men have now experienced hunger, and they will now start eating, overeating, and my forecast, it's happened with every other low-calorie experiment that's ever been done in the last 100 years, is that those men are going to regain all their lost weight, an estimated average of 22 pounds each, and more over the next few weeks. Now, in the Minnesota experiment, which went on for 24 weeks, the men gained all their weight back and then plus about 10%. And for anorexics who then develop bulimia, they can gain all the weight back and even more than that. My personal experience was that I went down to 6 stone and then ended up at 10 stone. So I actually put back on about 66% of my lowest body weight. So that's what's going to happen to these guys over the next few weeks, during the time that they're going to be trying to adjust and cope with the mental health torment that they will continue to feel, and of course all the media pressure alongside. So when you see these guys at Christmas celebrating with their families, they will look quite different to the guys that came out of the mine over the last 24 hours. So a wonderful human occasion, and every such human occasion offers us opportunities to learn, and this one is going to be very interesting to watch over the next few weeks. Well done Chile, well done everybody who took part in getting those guys out. You've given the world just the most wonderful 24 hours, and thank you for everything you did and the teamwork that you showed, and we wish those guys the very best over the next few weeks. Thanks for listening.